Version, it doesn't say anything like that. So one was put out by the government totally, and then the other one, the King James Version. Well, anyways, that was my point. And then the other question.
No, let me just back you up. Look, it's real simple. All of the major prophets were either killed or the government tried to kill them for not following the government's orders. Jesus was killed for not following the political and religious leaders' orders. Paul was killed. They were all killed. And so, and Jesus went in and beat the money changers, and it was all about standing up against evil. And Moses said no to Pharaoh. And by the sickening Romans 13 misinterpretation, that was Hitler's favorite quote. You read Goebbels' writings, he would laugh at Christians, how they would use that. And it was really Hitler started that, and then, of course, our government adopted it. The 68 Gun Control Act is word for word, because former Senator Dodd, not the current one, the old one's dead, he had been on the Nuremberg trial as a lawyer. And so he took it and changed the German to English, changed the name, and only a few lines are changed of the bill. We have the Nazi gun control law here in America. So they love it. I mean, the government hasn't found something the Nazis did they don't love. Black uniforms, Homeland Security. It was called Reich Security, Land Security in Germany. It's all almost a carbon copy with a little bit of Soviet and East German and Chi-Com mixed into the management system. Literally, they admit they've drawn from all of these. And so Romans 13 is a complete, giant, stinking fraud, and that's why they teach it in the churches. Go ahead.
Okay, and my second part to the question is, we've been talking to some people here in Arizona, and one of the ladies said, why would you want to fight it? Why not just stand down and let them go ahead and do their tyranny? Why not bring the second coming in? And I'm thinking, well, it's not really going to bring the second coming because Christ is going to come whenever he wants to, not when they say, oh, here, we're going to bring tyranny to everybody so Christ will come. And so she basically told my husband and I that we were crazy and that we were lunatics and we should just stand down and not worry about it because the government...
Christianity has turned from go out and say slavery is wrong and be killed for it, or, okay, take 1st century, 2nd century, 3rd century Christians in Rome killed by the hundreds of thousands over those several hundred years for not bowing down. Caesar said, you will bow to Jupiter, you will bow to Saturn, you will bow to Janus, you will bow, and they said no, and they said you die. Then according to the churches today, those Christians are going to hell because they should have hit their knees to Moloch. Now, it's asinine. But again, look, a cowardly, soft-handed, domesticated people that want to put on their little dresses and suits and go pimp around at church, and the guys find boyfriends and the girls find boyfriends, and that's what they do. The churches are the main homosexual facilities. And they go there, and that's where they find and that's their sexual preference. My point is mainly Christian churches, the big ones, are for the men to have sex with men. And I'm not trying to shock people here on air. I mean, this is what I've discovered. I mean, take Bohemian Grove. Christian conservative leaders go there. It's a giant 15-day homosexual orgy. And I found the liberals like women. And I mean, it's I guess it sounds insane, ladies and gentlemen, but everything's insane. Anything else, ma'am?
So my husband said, so you're going to teach your kids to stand down and let them rape and do whatever they want to your kids. You're going to let them do that to your kids. And right now she teaches them homeschool. So I said to her, well, then if you say stand down, then why don't you send your kids back to school so that the government can take control of them and do whatever they want to them and control them, because obviously that would be standing down.
Oh, my God, print that one. Boy Scouts trained to become Homeland Gestapo. I told you under Secure Corps they were doing that, but oh, my God. Ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just saw something on screen that blew me away. What did she say when you said that?
Well, she says, I am actually thinking about sending my kids back to public school.
Oh, it's of the Lord.
And I said,
I mean, look, you can't help her. Move on. Pearls before swine. That lady's going to have a rude awakening when she enters hell, probably. Yeah, no, California says it's illegal. Look at this story from Kurt Nimmo. And it's in the New York Times as well. I made 22 films and produced a couple more, and I can't even remember anymore. Is it in Masters of Terror, or is it in Road to Tyranny or Police State 3, where I show a clip off of ABC News where it goes, in Russia, the foster children, CPS from their parents, are trained at like age 5 to 18 to karate chop, to attack people, to enforce what the government wants. That's where they get their thug police. It's like Universal Soldier movie with Russell. Boy Scouts trained to become Homeland Gestapo. Now, that's our article, and you can see them there if you're watching on prisonplanet.tv, all stacked up about to board a Homeland Security bus. And this is not new news to me. It's just that the first place I saw this was in 2002 in the Philadelphia Daily News. It was called Secure Corps, a division of AmeriCorps, and it described the middle school 6th and 7th graders training with, quote, M16s for gun confiscation, door-to-door search, fugitive apprehension, and it described them with dogs in the woods with the feds. And now hundreds of high schools are being converted and run by the Marine Corps and Army, where they go, oh, your school's now run by the Army, and they just show up in Virginia and Georgia and Illinois and California and everywhere, Texas, Michigan. I've covered that every week now. And it's all, and then they tell them you'll be arrested if you don't sign up with the military, and then it's illegal. And the Marines just go, we commit crime, we don't care. You know, they tell the kids, you'll go to jail if you don't sign up for this. And you're like, don't you be anti-Marine. It's good for them to threaten the children and run everything and run the schools. Ladies and gentlemen, this is directly out of the old Soviet Union. 10 minutes into errant mayhem in his town near the Mexico border, and the gunman, a disgruntled Iraq war veteran, see, they're training the kids to kill the vets. It just doesn't get any richer than this. I told you 12 years ago that they had government documents, and we got some of them here, and people didn't believe it, even when it had the FBI phone numbers on you could call, saying veterans and gun owners and those that make frequent references to the Constitution were, quote, constitutional terrorists. In fact, Google constitutional terrorists. Let's put that on screen, the actual document from 99 for them. We got documents in 97 as well. So they're training to kill the vets. And the vets will say, I'm patriotic. Romans 13, train my kids to kill me. I don't care if Hitler and Stalin did it. It's freedom, baby. Man, and they're taking over the Boy Scouts. They're militarizing the fire departments to have them tattle and spy on citizens. They're federalizing everything, folks. 10 minutes into the errant mayhem in his town near the Mexico border, and the gunman, a disgruntled Iraq war veteran, has taken out 2 people. One slumped in a desk on the floor, covered in blood. The responding officers, 8 teenage boys and girls, the youngest 14, face tripwire, a thin cloud of poisonous gas and loud shots. Bam, bam, fire from behind a flimsy wall. They move quickly. Pellet guns drawn and mask affixed. See, they know the kids love this. They tell the kids, we're going to arrest you for BB guns, or they're always arresting kids playing paint gun in the, city park. But you can come join the police and Homeland Security and have weapons, young man. Now tell us about your folks. And you think I'm joking there. No, I have all the mainstream news articles. That's in Road to Tyranny, local newscasts where they tell kids tattle on their parents, you get $200. I mean, I made that 7 years ago. You can't make this stuff up. This is happening. So continuing here, the responding officers, 8 teenage boys and girls, the youngest 14, faced tripwire, a thin cloud of poisonous gas, and loud shouts. Bam, bam, fired from behind a flimsy wall. They move quickly, pellet guns drawn and mask affixed. United States Border Patrol, put your hands up, screams one voice, cracking with adolescent determination as the suspect is subdued. Now, let me stop you right there. I've noticed with the Homeland Security TV show, about 6 months ago, a caller called before it was even on air and said, there's a new Homeland Security show. And I remember going, hold on. It'll be set on the border. And the caller said, yeah, I just saw the ad. How did you know that? And I said, I know the enemy. And my point is, I'm not here tooting my horn. I'm trying to explain to you, I know their program. What is popular? 91% in every Gallup poll they've had or higher of Americans, all Americans, of a cross-section of black, Hispanic, white, 91%. It's 70+% if you just poll Hispanics. So they're against open borders as well. Want the border militarized, which is constitutional. So that TV show to popularize Homeland Security is going to show you something popular. Not Homeland Security training to take your guns, not Homeland Security spying on you without warrants, not Homeland Security training and building up to go after veterans and gun owners and conservatives. They're going to say Homeland Security's for foreign terrorists and it's for illegal aliens. And the parents of these kids are just pleased as punch, man. You're going to go fight illegal aliens that are killing people. No, you're not. Now, see, they're playing the part of Border Patrol here. But when you read, they're training to have the Border Patrol fight American citizens. A disgruntled U.S. veteran. Now, they have these training drills all over the country. We pulled up on screen and covered the really famous ones in Michigan a few years ago. AP reported it. We covered just a few weeks ago again, where they came in the school and said, we're going to kill all of you. We're homeschoolers against public school. And then said, I'm pro-Second Amendment. I'm going to kill you, to terrorize the kids and make them hate the Second Amendment. And then when the local sheriff got in trouble, he said, well, the feds gave us the script and the grant. We're just doing what they told us.